So Larry, from today's presentation on sports, what is the takeaway you want the folks that are here attending to go home with?
Well, the main thing, and that I said several times, is that a lot of people in sports radio think that they are protected from the waves of change that are going on in the digital space. And in many ways they are better protected than music radio, but they are not in any way fully protected. Their listeners are using digital audio, using digital devices in big numbers, and while there still local sports talk stations are providing that unique, compelling content that we know makes radio stand apart and be more protected, they're still exploring a lot of things, and that we have to be where they're going as well as where they are now in order to keep them in the future.
One of the things that you mentioned that I thought was surprising was the difference between Facebook and Twitter when it comes to listeners of sports talk radio. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone sort of always associates them together, Facebook and Twitter, as if they're almost a singular thing. And the numbers in our study and many other studies show that people are way more likely to use Facebook than Twitter by a factor of probably 5 or 6 to 1. Twitter does a great job of being part of the conversation. We asked the question, how often you hear about tweets? And people in very, very big numbers said, I hear about that a lot. But that doesn't mean people are quite as active on Twitter itself, certainly by comparison to Facebook.
And one of the things you mentioned was that you think radio can and probably should make it easier for listeners to get products on demand, because TV's made it so much easier and radio has not.
Right. People have just gotten used to on demand, especially in the video space, and they're increasingly frustrated when they can't get whatever content they are looking to get, whether it be audio or video, at the moment they want it. And we haven't made it easy. That if I love a certain radio talk show or radio show of any kind, but it's not available at the moment I want to listen to it, we have not made it very seamless or easy for people to just access it in other ways. Some people are doing early work with that, but it isn't really as easy as it is certainly in the video space. And we could look at what public radio has done. I think they've been really leaders in this space, but there's just a lot that we still have to do, and I think it should be a high priority for sports talk stations.
And finally, if these folks are going home, what's the #1 thing you think they should work on?
It's understanding where their listeners are going. I think that all the stuff that's talked about here about having great talent, nurturing great talent, finding great talent, pleasing your listeners with the content that you're producing is the key, that by far the most important thing of everything. But still, you have to be thinking about how people are and how they are going to be consuming all that content. You can't just lean back and say, as long as we have great content, nothing else matters. It does matter how they're accessing this content, and that you're making it easy for people to do that.